On the lonely stretch of Route 66, hidden behind overgrown pines and cracked asphalt, sits the Black Pine Motel. Once a bustling stop for travelers in the 1960s, it now rots under the weight of silence. Locals swear the neon sign still flickers some nights, even though the electricity was cut decades ago. They say if you pull into the lot after midnight, you'll see rooms glowing with light, as if guests still checked in, but once you step inside, you never check out. It was a cold November evening when Daniel Price, a 32-year-old salesman, found himself driving through that stretch. His GPS froze, his phone battery drained, and rain lashed against his windshield so hard he could barely see. When he noticed the flickering red glow of a sign through the trees. Black Pine Motel. Relief washed over him. A bed, a roof, maybe even a hot meal. The lobby smelled of mold and old cigarettes. A bell sat on the counter, tarnished with rust. Daniel rang it, and after a few seconds, a man appeared from the back room. He was tall, thin, and pale, his suit hanging loosely as though it belonged to someone else. His eyes never quite met Daniel's. "One night?" the man asked, voice flat, like a recording played on repeat. Daniel nodded. The man slid an old-fashioned key across the counter. The tag marked Room 6. Room 6 looked abandoned, dust on the dresser, a cracked mirror above the sink, floral curtains rotting at the edges. But the bed was made perfectly, sheets tucked military tight. Daniel shrugged it off, too exhausted to care. He dropped his bag, lay down, and let the steady drumming of rain lull him toward sleep. That's when he heard it, a knock, slow, heavy, coming from the wall behind the bed. At first he thought it was the pipes, then it came again, 3 knocks, perfectly spaced. He pressed his ear against the wall and froze. Breathing, someone was breathing on the other side. Uneasy, he left the room and walked the hallway, only to discover there was no room behind his. Room 6 sat at the very end of the motel. The wall backed directly into the woods. There was nothing there. Nothing alive. When he returned, the knocks had stopped, but the curtains were open. He was sure he'd left them closed. And outside in the storm, he saw a figure standing at the tree line, still watching, its face hidden in shadow, though Daniel swore he could see a grin stretching wider than humanly possible. At midnight, the phone in the room rang. Startled, Daniel answered. Static filled the line, then a whisper slithered through. "Get out of Room 6, his heart hammered. He demanded to know who was speaking. The voice only repeated, "Get out." He grabbed his bag, but when he opened the door, the hallway wasn't there. Instead, darkness stretched endlessly, thick and suffocating. He turned back. The room was gone too. He stood in blackness, the only light, the faint glow of the motel sign, far, far in the distance. And from that darkness, footsteps began to approach, slow, wet, dragging. Daniel ran. His lungs burned. His legs screamed, but the light never grew closer. The footsteps, though those did, until he felt hot breath on his neck. He dared not turn around. But when he stumbled and fell, he caught a glimpse, a man's face, or what used to be one. Skin charred and peeling, lips sewn shut with wire, eyes hollow, yet burning. Daniel screamed, and then Lance. Days later, Highway Patrol found his car abandoned near Black Pine. The motel gone, nothing but trees and dirt where it once stood. Yet on stormy nights, drivers still swear they see that neon sign flickering through the rain. And if you're foolish enough to step inside, you might just end up in Room 6, where the knocks never stop and the walls breathe with the dead.